All right, cold start procedure for 2007 Triumph Scrambler 900. Fuel tap on, choke out. Turn on the ignition, make sure you're in neutral. This particular bike has carburetor heaters when the ignition's on. So since it's in the 40s, somewhere in the 40s, 47, 48 degrees out, we'll let it sit for a moment like this, and then hit the start button. So you can hear how she's kind of stumbling. Once that stumbling smooths out, the engine will start racing. And when the engine starts racing and gets nice and smooth, and this bike hadn't been started in about 3 weeks. So you can hear it starting to smooth out. This is still with the choke on. There it goes. It's a perfect time to get ready. It's up around 3,000 RPM. Time to push that choke in. Right at 1,000. This bird is ready to go. This is a chilly evening ride. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's in the 40s. You multiply that times, well, right now is about a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Plus, it's been windy as heck all day today. Ugh. This road has been under construction, I swear, since forever. I graduated from high school almost 30 years ago, and back then this road was still under construction. All right, we get to open her up a little bit. Well, you're probably wondering why I called this the final ride. What is it? Is it the final ride of 2017? Is it because we're closing out on 2017? This is the final ride? Well, yes. But it's also the final ride on the 2007 Triumph Scrambler 900. That's right. You won't believe what I'm doing right now. This is the final ride. I am riding this bike right now to the surprise location for its new owner. That's right. Someone I know wanted to buy this bike for me. So, went about negotiating it, set a price, She bought the bike for her husband. Wow, what a wife. What a sweetheart. So this is going to be a surprise Christmas present. So George, this is your bike, bud. So if you want to know a little bit about your bike, George, head on over to my YouTube channel, Arizona RE, and have a look at all the videos. And that should be where you're at right now viewing this. I gave you a little cold start information when you hopped on. This bike is, it's really a great bike. It runs better than new. I picked up the bike for a song from an old work acquaintance who had bought it, rode it for a little bit, and then let it sit for a really long time. So when I got a hold of it, it wouldn't start. I rebuilt the carburetors. I can link you to the videos where I was sweating out the carburetors and getting this bike roadworthy again, and not only roadworthy but commute worthy for me. And not only did I get it running again, George, I also souped it up. This thing's got big fat racing jets on it. It's got let's see, what do they call that? The secondary air intake system has been removed from it, so it's desmogged. It's got a smaller sprocket on the front than stock, so it really pulls, but it's also very well behaved. So George, I know you wanted something like this, a bike, sort of cafe racer-ish, and if you know anything about Triumph Bonnevilles and Triumph Scramblers, you'll know that these bikes are so customizable, so changeable. You can shape this bike and change it any way you want. Flatten out the ride and make it a cafe racer, keep it the Scrambler profile, however you want to do it. And to the rest of my YouTube faithful, well, keep watching here. I have a feeling in the next couple months that vacancy in the old stable is going to get filled. So talk about some of the upgrades on this bike over stock. A 2007 Triumph Scrambler 900. Obviously the carburation, secondary air intake's been removed. It's got a BC Customs brake reservoir kit on it, because the factory kit was this giant hunk of plastic. It didn't look very nice. We got some bar end mirrors. We got the R&G tail tidy kit. It's got powder coated rims, which this is something that not a lot of these bikes had from that time. So you got the powder coated rims, so not too much chrome, just enough, but not quite blacked out and murdered out. It's got this awesome two-tone paint job, which I have to tell you, when I saw the silver over green, I thought to myself, I'm going to paint it black. But after having it this long, silver over green is where it stayed. It's very appealing. It's very eye-catching. Everybody asks about it. You can count on this. When you pull up at a stoplight, people are looking at this bike. When you go to a gas station, someone's going to come up to you and ask you about it. Say, what year is it? Wow, not seen a bike like that before. Say, that's not a Harley. Well, they're right on all accounts. Getting back to some of the upgrades on this bike, it also has what's referred to as the Triumph off-road exhaust. And the TOR, as it's commonly referred to in the forums. You're going to want to check out Triumph Rat forums. Those guys are extremely knowledgeable, and they'll guide you in on everything you need to know about this bike. And of course, you have me as an endless resource to help you out with anything at all. Let's see, after the Triumph off-road exhaust, which gives it this nice beefy sound, but it's not overwhelming. I've had louder exhaust, and I got to tell you, I wouldn't want to make this one any louder. I like it just the way it is. What do we have? Did I cover the bar ends? Yeah, I put bar end mirrors on instead of the big tall mirrors. Let me think what else here. Oh yeah, the K&N air intake. So it's got a K&N air intake on it, which goes right along with the Triumph off-road exhaust, the Tour exhaust, and which of course I did all the jetting myself to make it run efficiently. So you're not going to be cooking valves. at our elevation here, because I'm delivering it to you just south of Tucson. At our elevation, this thing runs like butter. I started it up cold just now before riding it down here. It was, I want to say it was about 45 degrees, and my phone said it was a little warmer, but it wasn't taking the temperature where I was at. And it was about 45 degrees, hadn't been started in about 3 weeks. Bang, started right up. You'll hear it stumble just a little bit. If you need to, just kind of tap the choke in ever so slightly and wait for it to start racing. And once it races, the idle will jump up between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. It'll smooth out, push the choke in, and you're ready to ride. If you like your idle higher or lower, there's a little dial down there. You can change it. Tiny little adjustments is all you need. And man, she runs great. Ever since I got this bike tuned up with the carburetors, I've got 4 bikes in my garage, and this is the one that I've been riding the most. Just hopping on it, going back and forth to work. It's been a great bike, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, it would be a Thunderbird, wouldn't it? And I think that's going to be it for the vlog, because we're getting ready to turn into the sun. And we all know how direct sunlight and GoPros go, don't we? What a dump.